Hi, Joe. Can you detail what Yordan Alvarez was able to do today and what his status is for the wild card series?
Yeah, so he's about to go and start hitting right now in the cage. And we also want him to go outside and run. So once I get to see those things, I'll give you a little bit more here, probably post-workout.
We'll come over here on the right to Christy. Sorry.
What's it going to be like facing AJ in a series that means so much? I know you faced him before, but you have a long history with him. So what do you think that's going to be like?
You know what? Actually, I'm looking forward to it. He's a good friend. We have spent a lot of time together. I learned a ton from AJ. But I think this series is about the Astros against the Tigers. So, they're playing really well, really good baseball. So I'm just looking forward to a really good series.
We'll stay on the right. Adam.
Joe, you haven't seen the Tigers since the middle of June. Just what stands out about, I guess, what's different about them and what makes them such a tough out right now?
Yeah, if you really watch their game, they have matured a lot as a club. They're swinging the bats really well. Making fewer mistakes that you probably saw in a younger club early in the season. And they're playing with a lot of energy, and they're playing good baseball. So there is that emotional aspect of a team when they start believing in themselves. That's kind of what you see of this Tigers team. So I'm expecting a pretty good series here, and we'll be ready for it.
We'll stay on the right with Brian.
Joe, what do you think, looking back to last year, that Framber struggled in the playoffs like he did, and how do you think he's better positioned this year to pitch like he did a couple of years ago when he led you guys in the World Series?
Well, one thing that he has left out in the past, and that's in the past, and I expect Framber to go out there and perform the way Framber has performed this whole entire second half. He's one of the best pitchers in the league, and he wants the ball, and I expect him to go out there tomorrow and give us a great start.
We'll go in the front right here on the left.
Hey, Joe. First of all, do you expect Justin to be on the wild card roster? And then also, we talk so much about experience this time of year. How much does it matter, and why does it matter if it does matter?
It does matter. It matters a lot. Postseason baseball, the energy, the stage, it matters. When it comes to our roster, we're still having conversations, so we'll have the roster set by tomorrow morning.
I'll go back left to Matt.
Hi, Joe. Have you set your rotation for the series beyond Framber tomorrow?
We're having conversations about who's going to start game 2, so not yet.
And how is Chas McCormick?
He's doing really well. I expect him to be ready to go for the wild card series.
We'll stay on the back left with Chandler.
Joe, obviously you'll see Scooble tomorrow, but after that, they've worked with an opener. They do a lot of mid-inning pitching changes. They mix and match. How difficult is that for an offense to adjust when you're basically facing a bullpen game and a lot of different looks from that bullpen?
So we're going to prepare ourselves for what that game 2 might look like. I do feel very confident of any of our guys that will start the game or will be in a position to navigate whoever they decide to start and whoever they decide to come bring in second. I'm expecting him to, I expect AJ to do something like the way he's been doing it here the last couple of weeks. And our bench should be ready to go anytime, I can use those guys any moment. So it's a conversation that we'll have as a team when we get ready here for this series. At any minute, I can use our bullpen. I could use our bench to be able to, whatever he has in store for us.
We'll go on the right in the middle.
Joe, when we talk about Framber, we talk a lot about the mental side of his game and how he's evolved in that aspect. But from a more technical aspect, how do you think that he's evolved from 2020 to now?
Man, huge. I've been here since the first day he got to the big leagues. Maturity, he knows his role. I think he knows that there's also a lot of, guys in there that look up to him. So be more of a role model that's a leader on the mound. And he's done that. I think he also knows what to expect when he has the ball in a big game, how he's the ability to set the tone, and the way he goes about it has a lot to do with our performance for the next game. If he can take us deep in the game, he takes pride on that. So, I seen these young kid that got up here to the big leagues a long time ago, really mature both personally and on the mound.
Okay, we'll go in the front here. Francisco.
Hey, Skip. I'll ask in English so my colleagues understand me, but I'd appreciate if you could answer me in Spanish, if you don't mind, please. Yes, I mean, this is your first season, and you as a manager of the big leagues, and by definition, it's your first postseason as a manager in the postseason. In a personal matter, what does that mean to you as an accomplishment in your personal career and professional career, and how do you manage the nervousness? Because at the end of the day, this is your first time as a manager of a postseason in the Major Leagues.
Bueno, pues para mí, personalmente, tener la oportunidad de dirigir en Grandes Ligas, especialmente este equipo, un equipo que he estado las últimas 7 temporadas con ellos, para mí es algo bien especial, ya que el respeto y el amor que le tengo a este grupo de jugadores. Cuando viene a ser tu pregunta de las emociones, mañana, tú sabes, va a ser un día bien emocional para mí, pero al último del día yo confío en este grupo, confío en mis coaches y tratar de, tú sabes, de manejar mis emociones lo mejor que pueda. Y al fin del día, tú sabes, es fe en el Señor que me va a ayudar mañana a navegar ese día. Pero algo te digo que voy a estar preparado y mi equipo va a estar preparado para ese juego.
Joe, would you mind giving us that in English too?
Yeah,
please?
yeah, sure. So, talk about, tomorrow's going to be an emotional day for everyone, and you asked me personally for my personal, as a manager, first-year manager, postseason, and it will be. But for me, it's more about, faith in God, faith in my group players. I will lean on the players. I'll lean on the coaches just the same way I've done all season. And, this team is going to be ready to play. I'm going to be ready to do my job. And this is a team that when postseason comes around, they know what it takes to win. So that helps me sleep at night.
Thanks, Joe. We'll come back to Christy in the front.
I know you guys have much bigger aspirations than simply getting to the playoffs, but have you taken a moment over these past few days to kind of, reflect on how far you guys have come and what you had to overcome to even get to this point this year?
Yes, I've done it. There's been some memorable moments throughout the season that I look back and think how special this season has been. It's been challenging, but also I'm incredibly proud of this group because we were presented with some huge challenges in the beginning, but it speaks to the resilience and the toughness of this team. So yes, I've sat around in the office or sat around with the family and talk about the Bregman home runs against the Dodgers, the Ronel Blanco no hitter, Framber Valdez performance, even young kids coming up to the big leagues and getting some big outs, big ABs. So I do think about those moments, but it kind of ends there because the job is still not done. Expectations here are high, and we got the team and we got the experience to meet those expectations. So I'm excited to see what the future brings.
We'll go in the back and middle.
Mucho gusto verlo. Felicidades
Gracias.
por llegar a esta etapa.
Gracias.
Hace unos días platicábamos con usted, decía que primero hay que llegar. Ahora que está aquí, ¿qué se siente? Ya son 8 años este equipo en la postemporada de manera consecutiva. Usted lo sabe, no es fácil llegar aquí, ¿no? Y otra preguntita, ¿qué esperar de este partido frente a Detroit y qué quiere ver de Framber Valdez en esta postemporada?
Bueno, pues comenzamos con Framber porque él es nuestro as, o sea, es nuestro ace y Framber va a estar preparado para mañana. Él sabe la importancia que es el juego de mañana y también la importancia de él como nuestro número 1, tener la oportunidad de llevarnos, estarle en el juego y darle una oportunidad de ganar. So, él va a estar preparado para eso. Y para mí, para este equipo, pues súper emocional y no es fácil. No es fácil 8 postemporadas consecutivas, no es fácil. Y nosotros no tomamos eso, sabemos lo importante que es y eso a nosotros nos anima más y nos da más deseo de seguir continuando trayendo campeonatos aquí a la ciudad de Houston. Pero algo que te digo es que este equipo está preparado, este equipo está bien emocionado por esta oportunidad y esto va a ser una buena serie contra Detroit.
Go to the back row, Alden.
Hey, Joe. And sort of just guiding your team out of the hole that you guys were in earlier this year, as sort of you reflect on the journey from that, what did you learn about yourself and just sort of what's required in the role that you're in, and what kind of surprised you about just how to handle all that?
So many things that, but I'm going to just kind of touch on a few things that I think that really helped me stay grounded and be able to navigate the challenges. And number one is our team, and you guys hear me say that all the time. And this is a special group of players. And I've been coaching the big league for 15 years, and I have never been around a group of players who believes in themselves. They lean on one another. There is no panic. There is this level of confidence on how they do things. The coaching staff, they have ways to get our players to continue to, move forward and find ways to adjust. So we have a culture that when I walk in the office, I see everyone doing their part. And I'm like, you know what? We're in a really good spot. Regardless of where we at and how we playing, if we continue to do things right, how we prepare our players, this is going to turn around. So seeing those things on a daily basis, it helped me, right? And for me personally, I never, a 162 is a long season, but when you're managing and you see how we have overcome so many things, that journey of 162, you have to play all 162. You have to. Because we've shown that 55, 60 games, ugly as it looks, there's still 100 games to go. And those players, they just know how to run this marathon. They know how to sprint towards the finish line. They know what it takes along that journey to pick each other up and, hey, let's go. And that's what this team does. And, credit to our player development. We couldn't do this with just 26 guys or the 28 guys that we have on our roster, right? It takes a lot of kids from the minor leagues to come up here, a front office, an owner that could, hey, let's go get Kikuchi. We're going to give up away these pieces, but this is what we're going to acquire. And he comes here and he helps us. So there's a lot of collaboration that goes into this. And when I look and everything, our foundation is as strong as it is, I feel pretty good of our team. And I learn as being a manager to trust that process. And we find ourselves here in another postseason.
We'll go in the second row on the left.
Joe, en una serie tan corta de 3 compromisos ante un equipo como los Tigres de Detroit, que han cerrado la campaña regular de manera inspirada, ¿qué cree usted, qué aspectos del juego podríamos resaltar o podrían definir esta serie tan corta ante los Tigres?
Tú sabes, unas series cortas es como cualquier otra serie en la temporada regular, obviamente de la postemporada, pero el equipo que esté mejor preparado y el equipo que ejecute mejor usualmente gana esta serie de postemporada. El talento está ahí. Ambos equipos van a estar igual de inspirados. Para mí, el equipo que juega el mejor béisbol en ambos lados de la bola siempre gana la serie.
We got 2 in the front here.
Joe, I think AJ said recently he feels like he's been managing Game 7 for 2 months. Given the start, can you kind of relate to that? And how perhaps does that give your team, I don't know, a preparedness edge? You've done it so many times, but a little bit different look with the urgency that it took to climb the mountain to get here.
Obviously we faced some injuries early in the season to our rotation, and we were forced to, do things a little bit different, things out of, that we haven't done in the past. So that aspect allowed some of our young players to step up, and now they're going to find themselves pitching in the postseason, pitching meaningful games in the postseason. So that speaks about, how deep we are and how we have been able to overcome challenges just because of how challenging this season has been. AJ has been, just to your point about AJ feels like he's been, managing Game 7 of the World Series for the last couple of weeks. We've seen how his team has kind of picked it up since mid-August, right? And I know they're going to come in here, playing that type of, aggressive baseball that they played for the last couple of weeks, and we'll be ready for that. So I can only speak for how we are going to be prepared for a series playing against a team that's pretty inspired right now.
We'll go one more in the front here.
Joe, you briefly mentioned your faith and what it meant to you to get through this season, for lack of a better term. Between whether it be the slow start and the struggles, or you being a new manager, if you saw any criticism from fans, where did your faith play a role in you managing this season just personally?
Oh, huge, man. Huge. It's my faith, right, allows me to trust God above all things. So the criticisms, hey, I know what I signed for, okay? The criticisms are going to be there. Fans they have the right to do that. This is a really, really good team, and our expectations are to win. So that's fine. So my faith allows me to block away a lot of noises and focus on my job, which is, lead this team, be a good father, good husband. Those are the things that allows me to, keep moving forward every single day, and allows me to overcome a lot of challenges at the ballpark. So I'll lean on him, and, he's been good to me my whole entire life. So there's a reason why I'm sitting here talking to you guys is because of my faith.
Jose, obviously you've seen AJ in a different uniform before and you've played against him, but I guess can you kind of go into what he meant to you when he was the manager here and what it's going to be like to face him in a playoff series?
Yeah, no, he obviously meant a lot to me. I learned a lot from him, and we spent time together, and he's a great manager, great human being. We're happy for him, and we know we have to go out there and play hard against his team because, they have a lot of talent, and he knows how to manage.
Go back here on the right. Start with Brian's fine.
Jose, how have you seen Framber evolve, not only this year, but also since you were here when he was first called up and, he was having trouble kind of establishing himself, and did you ever imagine he would become what he's become now?
Yeah, he's been amazing through the years. Remember when he got called up, he was good with a lot of talent, but a little hard to establish himself in the big leagues. And, he has come a long way from that. And for me now, he's out there with the best pitchers in the big leagues. He always going to give you a chance to win. He's been consistent through the years, and, we are really happy that we have him on the mound tomorrow.
We'll stay on the right, Jose.
Jose, with the way you guys started out this year, is where you are right now at all more rewarding compared to previous years when you look back on them?
Not really. It's just, every year is special, every year is different, but, in the end it means, a lot to be in playoff like the ones we have last year and the year before.
Go in the front row, right in the middle.
Hey, Jose, the experience, how much does that mean going into the postseason? Because we always talk about it. If it does mean something, why does it mean something?
It all depends, right? Obviously, we've been in this situation before, but it's a, 3-game series, best of 3, so anything can really happen. We know that even though we've been there before, we got to go out there like we've never been here and execute the play hard, try to win game 1. I think that's important. And just, like I said, make every single play and do everything possible to win.
Go in the front row on the right, Christy.
Hey, Jose, when you guys were going through that tough start, what do you think was the biggest key to allow y'all to kind of get back on track and be in this position right now?
Yeah, this is a question that I think as a team we get a lot. I don't know if it was just a single thing or a lot of things, or just the fact that it's a long season and it gave you time to adjust and get ready, and everybody, a certain point click together and start hitting, start pitching good. But I don't really know if there was just like one key or a lot of things, but I think one of those things could be like our chemistry and a lot of great players together going out there and trying to win. I think it's probably one of those.
We'll go to the back left with Alden.
Hey, Jose. In what ways have you seen Alex Bregman impact this team off the field this year?
Breg is probably one of the biggest players, biggest stars that has come through this team, this organization. He has a lot of impact not only in players but fans and front office. And like I said a few days ago in an interview, he made the whole organization better than what it was beforehand. So hopefully he stay here for a long time and retires with the Astros.
And I know you're always so focused on just what's directly in front of you, but is it hard for you not to think about the possibility of this possibly being the last playoffs you have with him?
I think I'm confident about ownership and front office and coaches getting together and putting a great contract for him, and like I said, making him stay here the rest of his career.
Go in the middle, about halfway back, Matt.
Yeah, Jose, obviously Scooble's one of the best pitchers in baseball. From your perspective, what makes him so tough when you're facing him?
He throws 99 to 100. That's really hard to hit. But he got a good slider, good split, and he got 4-seam, 2-seam, and he locates pitches good. He's not afraid. When he's on the mound, you can tell he's not going to run away from you. So he's going to attack you, and that's why he has the season he has. It's the Triple Crown, and we know we have a big challenge tomorrow against him, and nothing's going to be easy or guaranteed, but we got to go as a team and put good at-bats together.
Okay, we'll go in the front row.
Hey, Jose, you've gotten to see the growth of Yainer Diaz up close this season. What stood out to you, the way he's handled himself, producing at the plate and managing the pitching staff?
He keeps getting better and better. Last year he was already good, but this year he shows up and put the season he had this year. He's a big part of our lineup. He hit fourth for a lot of time, fifth, and all he did was just hit and drive runs and obviously call good games behind the play. And he's a guy that he doesn't surprise me getting better every year, and just, he's already a star, but he's going to become one of these superstars in the game because the ability he has to put the ball in play.
We'll go right in the middle, third row.
The Tigers made the playoffs for the first time since 2014. Y'all are obviously not strangers to the playoffs. I'm curious, what that kind of playoff experience or postseason experience provides y'all and how that is an advantage.
I think obviously experience in baseball in playoff in the regular season is always a good fact to have. But like I said, in a best of three, you don't really know if you're going to have time to, put your experience in play. We just got to go out there and somehow win the first game and then go from there. But we're playing a good team. They're here for a reason. They beat a lot of good teams, so we did. So it's going to be probably one of the biggest games of our season tomorrow.
Okay, we'll go in the second row in the middle here.
Framber, how disappointing was it the way you pitched in the postseason last year? And does that kind of fuel you now as you get ready to make your first postseason start this year?
¿Qué tan decepcionado te sentiste el año pasado con pichas en la postemporada y eso te da a ti ánimo, energía para poder pichar mucho mejor este año?
Bueno, sí, no me sentí tan bien en la última postemporada porque, no fue como me gustó, no fue como quise, pero venimos con más ánimo y venimos con más fuerza para esta.
Yeah, definitely it was disappointing how I pitched last year in the postseason. I didn't pitch how I wanted to. I didn't pitch how I know I could, and just come in this year with a lot more energy and getting ready to go.
Stay on the right, third row.
Framber, buenas tardes. ¿Cómo dirías tú que has crecido? ¿Cómo te has desarrollado más desde que llegaste aquí a las Grandes Ligas? Ya van varios años, ¿no?, que llegas a pitchar en la postemporada. Toda la experiencia que has ganado, ¿cómo dirías tú que has crecido más?
Bueno, yo he crecido un 100% en mentalidad, enfoque, disciplina en el juego, jugando para el equipo, llevándolo al campeonato, llevándolo a juego de ganar y poniéndolo cómodo para seguir ganando, llegando a la postemporada. Y me siento bien al saber que el equipo cuenta conmigo, yo cuento con ellos y es algo que me llena de orgullo.
Yeah, I think I've grown 100%. Just being able to pitch into the postseason, helping the team get to postseason, pitch in big games, help the team get to championship games, and putting the team in position to win. They're all things that I've worked really hard for, and I take a lot of pride in and being able to do that.
Go Chandler in the back left.
Framber, how often do you still talk to Dr. Andy, and how much has he helped you in this evolution that you're talking about of how much you've grown and matured?
Con tanta frecuencia tú hablas con el Dr. Andy y cómo él te ha ayudado a ti en este crecimiento que tú mencionaste?
Bueno, con Andy Núñez yo hablo casi todos los días. A veces antes de jugar o después o sin tener que jugar, yo lo llamo, hablo, conversamos, dialogamos de cosas de la vida, de la mental, de cómo manejarme. A veces quisiera que estuviera aquí siempre para tenerlo ¿sabes?, hablando en persona, pero me toca por teléfono, pero aún así capto los mensajes, capto los consejos y simplemente mantengo el enfoque de lo que él me dice.
Yeah, with Dr. Andy, I talk to him almost every day, whether it's on the phone, whether before a game, after a game, even if I'm not playing, I try to take the moment to talk to him. We talk about life, try to talk about the mental aspect of it, how to handle certain situations. And yeah, he's a guy, obviously, I wish that I had him here with me every single day, but, I still talk to him on the phone every day and try to take those advices and try to make the most of it.
Go in the front left here.
Framber, you've mentioned that the mental side of the game. When you do have those conversations, and from where you were, I don't even years ago or from earlier this season, where have you grown the most from the mental side, and what really kind of helped change that?
Cuando hablas del lado mental del juego, ¿qué tanto tú piensas que ha crecido tú mentalmente en el pasado hasta antes en este año? ¿Qué tú crees que ha sido lo más grande que ha cambiado?
Bueno, pensar la adrenalina, las emociones, la actitud y algunas veces, como el interés cuando tú estás jugando, que te hacen mucha carrera. Antes yo me confundía, me desconcentraba mucho, salía del juego inmediatamente cuando me daban 3 carreras, 1 carrera, par de hits. Pero ahora me digo simplemente volver a atacar. Te dieron un honrón, sigue atacando. Tienen 3 carreras, sigue atacando, no importa el equipo. Y eso me ha ayudado mentalmente un 100%.
Yeah, I think, the adrenaline, the emotions, the aspect of the game. I think in the past, I would allow a few runs or a couple base hits. I would get myself out of the game, I would get confused and just get out of the game. Now, the mentality has changed. I give up a homer, give up a couple hits. I just continue attacking. Give up a homer, continue attacking, give up a couple base hits. Just tell myself continue attacking.
Go on the right, Daniel.
Framber, how have you seen Yiner's game calling improve this season? And as far as your personal working relationship with him, is there anything off the field that you guys have done to improve that chemistry?
¿Cómo tú ves la forma que Yiner pide los picheos este año? ¿Cómo él ha crecido con eso? Y en sentido de trabajar, ¿hay algo que han hecho ustedes fuera del terreno que le ha ayudado con la comunicación?
Bueno, en verdad, no hemos interactuado tanto fuera del terreno, pero sí hemos hablado a pocas veces, pero lo que hemos hablado ha sido próspero. O sea que no ha dado resultado en el juego, no hay duda, no hay fallo de que él esté llamando un mal picheo, y si el picheo no nos conviene, nos coordinamos y lo hacemos mejor. O sea, él está quechando bien, él está pidiendo los picheos correctamente en el momento que debe de pedirlo, por eso, así como Blanco, Brown, yo hemos tenido tanto éxito en el montículo cuando él no quecha porque es un tipo que se sabe manejar.
Yeah, we don't talk a ton off the field when it comes to that type of stuff, but we've had a couple conversations that I think has helped us a ton get on the right page. And yeah, no, he's a guy, obviously, he calls, all the right pitches. Even when we have doubts about a pitch, we talk about it and we just come up to the correct pitch. And yeah, he's done obviously a great job behind the plate. That's why guys like Brown, Blanco, and myself, we've had so much success when he catches us, just because he does a really good job preparing.
Go on the right, Brian.
We started throwing the curveball more. Do you think that's what kind of led you to pitch so much better towards the second half of the season, or was there something else going on that helped you as well? And how did the curveball just sort of kind of propel you to what you were able to do?
Empezaste a tirar la curva mucho más en la segunda mitad. ¿Tú crees que fue eso que te llevó a tener tanto éxito en la segunda mitad? O si no fue eso que tú piensas que fue que cambió en la segunda mitad.
Bueno, atacar la zona. Eso fue yo pienso que mayormente fue eso. Atacar la zona, tirar más strike de lo que te va tirando, mantener el picheo fuera de cualquier mal contacto y simplemente enfocarme. Eso es lo que yo siempre digo. Cuando tú te enfocas bien y trabajas tu picheo, ellos van a hacer el efecto que tienen que hacer.
Yeah, I think it was just attacking the strike zone. I think I started attacking the strike zone a lot more second half compared to before, and then just throwing my pitches with confidence and throwing them to the correct locations. And part of that is also the focus. I say when I'm focused and worked on all my pitches, I know that they're all going to be very good pitches.
Stay on the right, in the third row, second row.
Framber, have you learned anything from Kikuchi in the 2 months since he's been here, and just what has he meant to the staff and to the team?
¿Tú has aprendido algo de Kikuchi en todo los meses que él ha estado aquí y qué él ha significado para este equipo?
Bueno, para el equipo él nos ha ayudado bastante. Llegó positivo, llegó ganando, llegó haciendo buen trabajo y el muchacho se mantiene bajo perfil, que se mantiene tranquilo, trabajando mucho, haciendo buen trabajo, apoyando al equipo para que podamos seguir ganando.
Yeah, when he got here, he got here winning. Obviously, it means a lot for the team. He's helped the team a ton. And he's a guy that just works extremely hard, keeps a low profile, and just works extremely hard. Supports the team when he's not pitching, and he's helped us a ton.
Stay on the right, the third row.
Framber, hablas de las emociones de los partidos e incluso mencionaste que hubo momentos en el que te sentías confundido. ¿Cómo se sienten los partidos ahora para ti cuando estás en la lomita? Entiendo que cuando debutas me imagino que había muchos nervios, pero ahora ya con tanta experiencia, ¿cómo se sienten los partidos hoy en día para ti?
Simplemente atacar, tirar strike, saber lo que tiene que hacer, saber en qué momento tiene que ejecutar y no tener presión. Ya la presión, ¿sabes? Siempre hay su poco de presión, pero no lo mismo. Ya sabemos, ya somos profesionales, ya sabemos lo que hace en el montículo cuando entramos, cuando salimos, antes de subirnos, para la preparación y la mentalidad.
Yeah, like I said, I think the biggest thing is just attack. Just go out there, attack, know when you need to execute your pitches the best. And pretty much don't feel as much pressure as I used to up there in the mound. I think that now I understand what I need to do before I get on the mound, when I'm on there, and when I get off.
Go to Christine in front.
Robert, how much pride do you take in being the team's Game 1 starter for the playoffs and leading your team in that way?
¿Qué tanto orgullo tomas tú de ser el abridor del primer juego para el equipo del playoff?
Siempre es un orgullo ser el primero en cada cosa que tú quieras hacer, ser el primero en cada actividad que se vaya a hacer. Para mí era un orgullo poder abrir el primer juego de los playoffs, de lo que va a empezar para los Astros de Houston. Y me siento bien, positivo, orgulloso, así como el equipo también, y esperando el apoyo de todos.
Yeah, just very proud of it. I think whenever you set out to do something, you always want to be the first one, want to be number one when it comes to that. Being able to be number one when you start a playoff game for your team, obviously is something that means a ton for me. It's something I take a lot of pride in, and just very excited, just full of pride, and just ready to go.
Go in the back middle.
Framber, buenas tardes. ¿Qué reto presenta este rival que tienen en puerta por delante? Primera vez en 10 años que están en postemporada y con un manager que conoce muy bien a este equipo y tú como pitcher, en especial los bateadores de ellos.
Yo pienso que si fue, creo que no lo conoce del todo porque tenemos un manager, tenemos nueva mentalidad, tenemos un nuevo propósito, nuevo enfoque. Yo pienso que simplemente atacar, jugar pelota, lo que sabemos hacer, y ellos que hagan el trabajo de ellos.
Yeah, don't know what to say too much about the hitters of the other team. Obviously, we have a new manager, we have a new mentality here, and we're going to go out there, do what we know to do, just go out there, play really good baseball, and set out what we set out to do.
We'll stay in the back middle.
Your impressions of the Tigers, and as you look at the scouting report, how is this team different than the team you guys saw earlier?
¿Cuáles son tus impresiones de los Tigres y cómo ha sido diferente este equipo ahora del equipo que vimos temprano en la temporada?
Bueno, que atacamos, no nos dimos por vencidos, no vimos ellos, Detroit. Bueno, lo mismo, Detroit se lo ganó, fue jugando béisbol, fue ganando juegos, que así es que se llega a postemporada, ganando juegos, jugando bien, y no se le puede quitar el mérito de que están en la postemporada y lo que hay que hacer es jugar pelota a ver cuál gana.
Yeah, obviously Detroit went out there, won a ton of games. That's obviously what you're supposed to do, try to get here. Can't take anything away from them. And yeah, tomorrow we're just going to try to go out there, play some really good baseball and see who wins.
Go in the front, Francisco.
Framber, ¿cómo estás? Buenas tardes a los dos. Yo Espada hablaba acerca de la hermandad y la fortaleza de un equipo fuerte, un equipo que no se paniquea cuando las situaciones van mal o erróneas, un equipo que acude uno entre otro para pedir consejo, apoyo. Hasta hoy no sabemos si Justin Verlander va a ser parte del roster, eso va a ser mañana. Yo sé que eso no tienes tú nada que ver, pero estando él aquí o no estando aquí, no deja de ser él un hombre con experiencia, un hombre ganador, un hombre que estuvo en tu posición mucho tiempo, es el número uno de abrir una serie. ¿Acudirás a él, estando él o no estando en el roster, para consejo, apoyo, una charla?
Bueno, Justin Verlander es un Hall of Fame, todo el mundo lo sabe, un caballo. Estando en el terreno, fuera del terreno, ya él hizo lo que tenía que hacer, él hizo lo que todo pelotero quiere hacer para el futuro. Y estando ahí, sería bueno para el equipo que nos apoye, que nos ayude mentalmente, tú sabes. Que es un tipo de experiencia, un tipo que ya ha pasado por esto, un tipo que ya tiene todo un mundo de béisbol. Y sería bueno que esté con nosotros ahí, aunque no haga el roster, ¿sabes? Pero estando ahí él, sería fantástico.
Yeah, Justin Verlander, he's Hall of Famer. Obviously, he's a guy that has accomplished everything in baseball. A lot of guys want to do what he's been able to do in his career. And yeah, whether he's on a roster or not, obviously having him there is something that, having him there supporting us is something that would help us a ton. Obviously, all the experience. He's been in this situation. He started game ones in the past. And yeah, all the experience is something that will help us a ton.